Have you ever walked through a city and wondered who first imagined the clean lines, open spaces, and modern forms we see today? Well, so much of what defines our current architectural identity traces back to one revolutionary figure, Le Corbusier. Known for his pioneering designs, Le Corbusier envisioned a world built on order, efficiency, and modernity. From the bold lines of Villa Savoye to the utopian city of Chandigarh, his work remains as impactful today as it was nearly a century ago. But who was the man behind these revolutionary ideas? What inspired him to redefine the visual and structural identity of architecture? Is it true that he wanted to replace the historic Paris with towering skyscrapers and meticulously planned environments? In this video, we'll explore the innovation, the controversies, and the legacy of Le Corbusier, a man who dared to challenge tradition and change the way we built our urban fabric. Hi everyone, welcome to ArchDaily, the place where we explore the incredible world of architecture, one visionary at a time. Before we start with the video, remember to subscribe to our channel and visit archdaily.com for more stories about your favorite architects. Now, back to the story. Charles-Édouard Jeanneret, better known as Le Corbusier, was born in 1887 in La Chaux-de-Fonds, a small town of Switzerland known for its watchmaking industry. He began his studies at the École d'Art, focusing on engraving and watchmaking, but under the mentorship of Charles Le Platinier, his interests expanded to architecture and other artistic disciplines. In his early 20s, Le Corbusier traveled extensively throughout Europe, visiting cities like Florence, Vienna, and Istanbul. During this period, he was exposed to the works of leading architects and the richness of classical architecture. He worked briefly in the offices of Auguste Perret in Paris, where he learned about the use of reinforced concrete, and later with Peter Behrens in Germany, where he was introduced to industrial design and modernist ideas. These experiences laid the foundation for his radical architectural vision. In 1917, Le Corbusier moved to Paris and began collaborating with artist Amédée Ozenfant. Together, they developed a movement called Purism, which emphasized clarity and order in art, reflecting Le Corbusier's growing obsession with functionality and efficiency. This philosophy soon extended into his architectural work, where he sought to create buildings that met the needs of modern living. Le Corbusier's work in the 1920s was deeply influenced by the social and economic challenges that emerged after World War I. The devastation and instability caused by the war highlighted the urgent need for efficient, functional, and affordable housing to accommodate rapidly growing urban populations. In 1923, he published his book, Vers une architecture, also known as Towards a New Architecture. In this manifesto, he outlined his vision of modern architecture, advocating for the use of industrial materials like steel and concrete, and emphasizing the need for simplicity, functionality, and efficiency. His famous statement, "A house is a machine for living in," captured his belief that architecture should be as purposeful as a machine. Le Corbusier's 5 points of architecture became a blueprint for his designs. These principles included the use of pilotis columns that raise the structure off the ground, flat roofs used as gardens or terraces, open floor plans allowing flexibility in layout, horizontal windows maximizing light and views, and free facades liberated from structural constraints. These ideas were realized in projects like the Villa Savoye, a landmark of modernist design that perfectly embodies these principles. Throughout his career, alongside his architectural work, Le Corbusier was a fierce and radical campaigner for new visions of modernist urban planning. Like his early architectural work, Le Corbusier's urban designs were focused on purely functional design and gave great primacy to the automobile. One of his most controversial proposals was the Plan Voisin for Paris, presented in 1925. Le Corbusier envisioned demolishing large sections of central Paris including parts of the historic Marais district, to make way for a grid of 60-story cruciform skyscrapers surrounded by green spaces. The plan aimed to solve the problems of overcrowding and inefficiency in urban areas, emphasizing open spaces, sunlight, and traffic efficiency. While it was never implemented, the Plan Voisin sparked heated debates about modern urbanism and the balance between heritage and progress. During the 1930s and the Second World War, Le Corbusier completed fewer buildings than in his fertile early years, but the end of the war saw an explosion in commissions. By now, however, he was working in a very different style to the smooth, machine-like modernism of the 1920s, favoring exposed concrete and monumental scale. Widely adopted and adapted by Le Corbusier's many followers, the style came to be known as Brutalism, so named for the French béton brut, meaning raw concrete. It was during this period of around 15 years that Le Corbusier completed many of his most admired works, including the Unité d'habitation in Marseille, as well as similar designs in Nantes, Rezé, Berlin, Briey, and Firminy, the Chapel of Notre-Dame-du-Haut in Ronchamp, the Convent of La Tourette, and the Carpenter Center for the Visual Arts, his only building in the United States. In the 1950s, Le Corbusier was finally able to realize a synthesis of his architectural and urban planning visions when he was invited to complete the design of Chandigarh, the new capital of the state of Punjab in India. Le Corbusier designed a functional city layout, and for the city's capital, he designed 3 buildings himself: the Secretariat Building, the Palace of the Assembly, and the High Court. The city became a living example of his vision for a radiant city, with its orderly layout, open spaces, and emphasis on community living. Although Le Corbusier left a lasting mark on modern architecture, his career was marred by several controversies. One of the most debated episodes involves Eileen Gray's E1027 villa on the French Riviera, which she designed between 1926 and 1929 with her partner, John Badovici. Gray, a pioneering modernist designer and architect, created the villa as a personal retreat, embodying her philosophy of functional and harmonious design. However, in 1938 and 1939, Le Corbusier painted a series of large murals directly onto its walls while staying there as a guest of Badovici. Gray was not consulted about the murals, and many view this as an intrusion on her artistic vision and a symbolic act of dominance over a female designer's work. The incident has sparked ongoing debates about artistic ownership and gender dynamics in the modernist movement. Le Corbusier ideas were often seen as too rigid or utopian, particularly his urban planning concepts, which some argued ignored the complexities of human behavior and social diversity. However, his influence on architecture and design is undeniable. Throughout his life, Le Corbusier continued to push boundaries, blending art, technology, and social vision in ways that changed architecture forever. From furniture design to urban planning, his legacy endures in the minimalist aesthetics and functional layouts we see today. Le Corbusier passed away in 1965, but his ideas continue to inspire architects and designers around the world. His work challenges us to think about how architecture can shape not just buildings, but entire ways of life. What are your thoughts on Le Corbusier's work? Do you see him as a visionary or as a controversial figure? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on all things architecture. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.